Good afternoon, class, and welcome to Astronomy 130. I am here to fill in for Dr. Case after his rise to scientific TV stardom. Let's jump right in, shall we? The first constellation we will be exploring is Orion. Orion has two very bright stars, Betelgeuse and Rigel. These stars...
Excuse me, don't you think we should have some context? Like, what do those names even mean?
Actually, I know.
First up, we have Betelgeuse, also called Alpha Orionis. It's the second brightest star in our constellation Orion, marking the eastern shoulder of the Hunter. Its name is derived from the Arabic word Bat al-Jazwa, which means the giant shoulder. Up next is Rigel. It means the left leg of the giant. Rigel is more properly known, though, as Beta Orionis. Next up, we have Saiph. The star Saiph gets its name from the Arabic name, meaning the sword of the giant. On to Bellatrix. The star Bellatrix derives its meaning female warrior from a free Latin translation of an independent Arabic title, Al-Najid, the conqueror. This is a modification of an alternative name for Orion himself. And finally, we have Hatsa. It's a triple N nebulous star in the sword tip of Hunter, the brightest star in Orion's sword. Al-Taninzi, who was an Arabian astronomer in the first half of the 16th century, named Hatsa the bright one in the sword, but it's practically unnamed in today's society.
Speaking of origins, wasn't Orion like a Greek god or something?
Well, actually.
So in Greek mythology, Orion is the son of Poseidon, the sea god, and Uriel, which is the daughter of the king of Crete, Mios. Orion hunted with the goddess Artemis and her mother Leto. Orion was determined to hunt every animal on Earth. However, this did not fly well with the goddess of the Earth. Gaia sent a giant scorpion to kill him, which it was successful. But when Artemis and Leto found out about it, they were not happy, and they approached Zeus and asked for him to be put in the sky along with the scorpion that killed him. There's a lot of cultures that have Orion in it, but one that is most prevalent is the Egyptian culture. In many different cultures, it has many different meanings, but for Egyptian culture, it sends them off to the afterlife.
Hey, that looks good. What are you eating?
It's Nutella. Have you ever heard of it?
Oh, Ellie, did I hear you say something about the nebula? No. Well, speaking of the nebula. The Orion Nebula is a massive cloud of gas and dust located about 1,300 light years from Earth. It is, of course, located within the Orion constellation itself, but it's just south of the three stars that make up the belt, where you will notice three fainter stars. The nebula is in the middle star. The nebula is also home to a tight cluster of massive young stars, which goes by the name of the trapezium. The trapezium is actually what produces most of the light that the nebula gives off.
Can we see that with our own eyes, or do we need a telescope?
That is a very good question. We can see it as a blurry smudge on a very clear night with our own eyes. But if you want to see it with more detail, try looking through a telescope with anything from a 12.5 millimeter lens up to a 25 millimeter lens. Now, how about you all try drawing what you think the nebula looks like? Not quite, Ellie. Excellent, Brock. That's exactly what the nebula looks like. All right, class, great session today. Have a good afternoon. I'll see you Friday.